In the overview, it says Second Live is a diversified 3D virtual space where you become the virtual avatar you expect and do many real-life things in different spaces like virtual exhibitions, singing and dancing, shopping, and handling business. So I like the handling business part because I remember when I first started my podcast, before I even started my YouTube channel, I would talk and talk and talk because, I use the Oculus. I know VR gaming has come an exceptionally long way, and it looks so freaking real when you put on those headsets now that I just immediately thought, because I had a real estate background, oh man, this is going to be like an easier way for us to talk to our peers and do business. And from a real estate perspective, funny enough, it was before Decentraland really took off because it was in my previous podcast. I remember discussing how we would see things such as virtual tours being done with the headsets, but now you're also going to have a realtor showing you around the property as well virtually, and you're going to be hiring realtors to learn this technology, and it's probably going to be more Zillow who hires these realtors to do these virtual tours. I know I'm going in depth because I think Zillow is going to buy out a lot of the local mom and shop brokerages, or at least they're going to be partnered with Zillow, Realtor.com, all these big real estate sites. Anyways, the point being, that was just one example or nuance to how VR was going to penetrate the corporate or the real estate or the derivative type markets, and it really made me thought of something like this. So then it says Second Live Avatar to make your own content and profit from your creation. There will be 4 main modules in the process of using Second Live. Users design their own character by avatar editor and set it as your avatar in the metaverse. Multiple virtual spaces. After the virtual characters are created, the characters can be transferred to the lobby, games, concerts, workshop, shopping center, and more spaces, so you can move around pretty. It's pretty versatile. Second Live Marketplace. You got anyone who owns a third-party digital asset can trade assets through the Second Live Market, which is kind of a cool version of being a Wall Street. Imagine just watching the charts and watching the NFT charts, I guess, and feeling like you're there too. It's imagine being on Wall Street when you're watching those monitors, just with your papers, just oh, okay, this stock is trading. Oh, I got a buy and sell order. Things like that I think will be coming up with NFT assets, and I know it's crazy to think about, and it probably won't be regulated, or at least it will be, not for a little bit. Anyways, scenario editor, it can directly produce, so the scenario editor can directly produce content without codes according to the modules, interactions, and gameplays. Some gamification configurations can be directly and automatically deployed online. So this reminds me, this point right here, and I haven't dived too much deeper into it, but this point did remind me of the drag and drop theory of how entrepreneurs will be easily able to create very advanced coded applications in the future without having to even know a lick of code. And I think that's coming. That's going to be happening. I think Cardano is going to be starting to do things like that just to make the coding aspect more mainstream without having to actually know a bit of code. So they're going to have underlying platforms with drag and drop theory. And obviously coders will have to have coded these simple terminologies, because if you want to put something like a basketball in your game, then there needs to be code underlying it, but how it will look on the interface will just say basketball, and the entrepreneur can put a basketball in the game. Things like that. The richness of the gameplay can be configured without code, it says. So I love that. That's definitely the future. That's where everything's going. Here's some features too, and then I'm going to move on to the next P2E game that is pretty brand new. That could be a hit. Features of Second Live. So persistence. All the virtual spaces of Second Live can exist permanently. Real time. Second Live will gradually realize synchronization with the real world, and it has all the forms of the real world, so that makes sense. I mean, we're going to be basically living in this sucker. Compatibility. Second Live can accommodate people and things of any size. Anyone can enter the space. I can see this project definitely making their way into Most Valuable Builder Phase 3 if that's something that they wanted to do. Economic characteristics. Second Live has a fully operational economic system that can support transactions, payments, and income from labor. So this also brings in an aspect of work to earn. So I think work to earn is a huge thing that's coming. And honestly, I'm enjoying this video so much, I might just stick on Second Live and do another video at the other two. I'm sorry for anybody that wanted that, but this is such a cool concept. Work to earn is when on these virtual platforms, you can do this pretty easily, because humanship is going to be very important, and since we're on the blockchain, since everything is on a game-like structure, everything's going to be recorded. You take, think about it. So imagine a game hiring a human to basically talk to people and explain the game. Okay, now you also eliminate so many barriers of entry to employeeship, because when everything is on the blockchain in a virtual world, everything's recorded. So now you can actually monitor the human that you're hiring and reward them based on how they're interacting with people. You can also coach them up much easier because you're going to have like constant surveillance of what the heck the employee is doing, even though he's just got like an Oculus headset on and he's just like probably working